as Lee Anderson MP exposes the so-called refugee charities for acting as people smugglers and helping the illegal migrants. The liberal media are not happy about it, so they've decided to get triggered by Anderson. Oh yes, another video exposing Care for Calais, the so-called charity organization that are actually going to France to teach and help the illegal migrants how to cross the channel and what to do when they talk to the border force and all that. And Lee Anderson, who also exposed them. But before we start, so many people have been asking, why is it that at the end of each video you say subscribe to the channel and we'll see you in the next video? It's mainly because of this stat. I'm going to show you this. Overall, the last 28 days, over half of you are not subscribed. But you're still watching the channel. Now, there are various reasons for this. If you actually do enjoy the channel, I'm not forcing you. If you want to support independent media, feel free to subscribe. That's the only reason I'm saying it. It will help us to compete against the big media outlets like BBC and Sky and all the other weird ones. So, let me show you why this channel matters. Let's talk about Lee Anderson, one of my good friends and one of the few conservatives left in the Tory party, who went to Calais and quite recently. And we showed you guys the videos and the clips that he filmed about the camps and all that. And he had a conversation with Care for Calais, the charity organization that is there to support the so-called refugees and who are fleeing France because France is a conflict zone. We have to get to Dover. That's the only safe place from France. And he realized that these people are almost as bad as the people smugglers. He actually said recently that you've got the people smugglers, you've got the camps, the charities at the camps. You've then got, when you get to England, the hotels, the lefty lawyers, and it is one big multi-million pound industry. And everything it says here is absolutely spot on. It's not subjective, it's not an opinion, that's just factual. Nothing wrong with it. But of course, there will be people on the liberal media establishment side who would be a bit offended because it's very politically incorrect. So, for example, Matthew Dancona, who is the definition of mainstream press and media. He said, "This is a disgraceful defamation of charities such as Care for Calais and their volunteers. How low can populist politicians of the right sink?" I don't think it's called sinking, it's called rising, Matthew, because we are winning the argument and you guys are just too busy blocking every move that this country has to make to protect its borders and national security and the safety of our young girls on the streets. You don't care. What we do. Also, Care for Calais? Are you kidding me with this? We've exposed this charity so many times. For example, the founder of Care for Calais, Claire Mosley, we exposed that she was having a secret affair with one of the so-called refugees. One of the migrants in Calais, in the camps, in the jungle. She was actually having an affair. Forgot about her own family here. And until apparently this guy went a bit too far. And she then broke it off and he went a bit crazy. She was surprised about that. What were you expecting? Just found a random person to date for no reason. Anyway, so that's Care for Calais. But Matthew is not the only one. Jessica Seymour. Oh my God. Jessica Seymour, if you remember, she was one of the chief Ramonas. Claims to be a lawyer. She said things like this. Part of the copycat behavior we have seen over the past 5 years, a global populist attack on decency, humanity, and the rule of law. By the way, this is what we call a definition of an incomplete sentence. You're supposed to be academic. Anyway, there is a kind of tendency right now in the political establishment that is fed by the media side because of the media pressure. There's this perception that people think that if something's mentioned on TV, it's important. And we have to, like as politicians, you have to feel the fear. You do realize nobody watches TV anymore. The viewership of all these channels, all of them, by the way, BBC, Sky News, Channel 4, GB News, Talk TV, ITV, CBC, CBBC or whatever. At best, if they get close to 100,000 viewers per day, per show, that's brilliant for them. They get 10,000, 20,000. This channel, we get about 300,000, I think, 300,000 a day for our shows, for our full shows. But they feel the pressure when it's on those channels. It's a very analog mentality that they're living in. But we actually have to talk about the real problems when it comes to what's going on with the small boats. There's a problem with mass migration, legal and illegal, that we've been talking about on this channel every day. But there's still a problem because of national security. You can't just have your borders open and claim that you want to close the borders, and you keep failing to close the border every single day. You have politicians from government keep making statements. It's been 3 years, 4 years since this problem escalated. It's been there for a long time, but escalated, and we still have the door open. Can someone go on the balcony and close the door, please? That will help. Anyway, it's easy to say. Care for Calais spokesman had a bit of a meltdown and said, our operations in Calais and northern France focus on the provision of humanitarian aid, and we seek to provide some friendship and dignity through activities like English lessons, football matches, simple teas and coffees. We provide no assistance or encouragement to refugees in Calais and northern France with journeys to the UK. We do not want any individual to attempt to cross the channel in a small boat or attempt dangerous journeys by other means like lorries or trains, as these journeys are life-threatening. Then why is it that we've already exposed some of your volunteers? We've got the footage that they actually were handing out leaflets to the migrants in France and how to do it and how to talk to the border force. Are you absolutely kidding me? You evil idiots. I'm trying to remain calm, but are you kidding me with this? I think we need a break. But don't forget, if you're watching this and if you have been enjoying the channel but haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe and click on the notification bell next to it. I am Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.